Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today we are playing some more Moonkin, Windwalker, Holy Paladin. Every time I upload some Boomkin, Moonkin, Balanced Druid gameplay, you guys always ask for more, so here we are hopping into some more, guys. As always, I want to make the videos that you guys want to see, so let me know in the comments what you guys want to watch, and I'll do my best to get some footage of that. And here we are on some more Boomkin Druid. So I am only 890 item level, guys, and we actually got up to around 24, 25, even close to 2600 MMR, I think, at one point with an 890 item level druid. So huge shout out to LabK, which is Colo, and BSX, which is Beanslayer X, for believing in the Control V Boomkin gameplay. Definitely having a solid time playing this. And right away, guys, if we're playing defensive, we're going bear form. When we're playing offensive, we're pushing in Moonkin form, going for the root beam, popping incarnation, going for those big star surges. And then we open up onto the shaman. Wasn't too great of an opener because of that pre-war banner by Smexen. Incredible war banner by Smexen right there to preemptively make that leg sweep only a half leg sweep, right? Or make that leg sweep very short there on that go. In the meantime, guys, getting up that Moonfire and the Sunfire pretty much on all three targets, or at least the two targets that we're really focusing on, which is the Warlock and the Warrior, and getting that CC onto the Shaman. So we have the Root Beam onto the Shaman, into the Hammer of Justice onto the Shaman, into the Paralyze onto the Shaman, maybe casting that Cyclone. We do manage to do that full Cyclone on the Snuts. The Warlock is doing a great job of line of sighting, and LapK is keeping us all topped with those wings right now. But as the wings fade, we're in a little bit of trouble. Now we're pushing into the Warlock, getting that short Paralyze there onto Greki, throwing out the clone, but I do get interrupted on that clone attempt there. Now going for another Cyclone, and I do Cyclone myself. Very unfortunate. About 2 seconds left of this clone. Lapcase in big trouble here. It looks like he's going to pump Bubble and eventually top himself and our entire team with that Wings cooldown. Now we're still on the Warlock here, even though he has Earth Shield, and I just want to take a quick moment. At the start of the game, guys, we are kind of swapping on our shield just a little bit, and we kind of realized we need to kill Warlock in this matchup, which is very different than what I've told you guys in the past of never hit into Earth Shield. As this composition, though, it just seems like Warlock is really the best bet. If we're going Warrior, he's just way too tanky, and if we're going Shaman, we get peeled way too much, and they get too much pressure. So we are just straight up going Warlock here in this game instead of switching around based on the Earth Shield target. Now we have that Paralyze into the Hammer of Justice, into that full Cyclone, now the Touch of Death, hitting the Warlock getting so low. Let's see what else we can get here. Full Root Beam now lands on the Shaman. Warlock does pop his wall and does gate across the map, but it looks like the Warlock's just going to go down, and the Shaman did have his trinket available, but we did have follow-up CC, and if he, since he was so far from the Warlock, he wouldn't be able to just trinket link without getting that follow-up CC. So the Warlock, it does go down. We had a pretty nice game here against this WLS, and once we had a kind of an iffy opener by opening up onto the Shaman, and then we try to swap around onto the non-Earth Shield target, but once we just found our target, trained down that Warlock, this game went a lot better. Fast forward here till the end of this game so we can check out the scoreboard as well. As you can see, the Warlock and the Warrior just did so much spread pressure. If this game goes long, if this game continues to play out, they are going to win the longer game. They're doing way more damage. They're going to sustain themselves much longer, but we have these little burst windows with the Paralyze, Hammer of Justice, Root Beam, Cyclone goes onto the healer with a stun, with a leg sweep, with a Fist of Fury on over to the Warlock. We can definitely take him out in our huge burst goes. And talking about these huge burst goes, guys, once again here on the Grand Arena, we have Windwalker, DK, Holy Paladin, and they are going to be doing very large goes as well, but, we want to do those counter goes as well. So the main thing defensively, guys, that I want to keep an eye out is for when they grip my Paladin in, the leg sweep is coming with the Fist of Fury. We're going to have to play defensive. That means pre-bear form. That means pre-skinning. That means trinket Displacer Beast out if I need to. That means staying alive during their goes. Okay, we're going to see the Paralyze on the Paladin. That's going to be our cue to play very defensive. Okay, so that's what we want to keep out defensively. Now offensively, we're going to want to get a Paralyze onto the Paladin with a Hammer of Justice to follow, or a Root Beam or a Cyclone to follow, with a double leg sweep on their DPS. And that's kind of how the back and forth power struggle is going to go. They're going to do their goes, we're going to play defensive. We're going to do our goes, they're going to play defensive. Whoever can rotate through the defensives first is going to win this game. Right away, guys, we're starting with a nice big go with that Paralyze into the Hammer of Justice, and I do get bobbed from LabK, so I can get that full Root Beam, and we can have a huge offensive opener. The double leg sweep comes out on the DPS. The Windwalker trinkets the leg sweep. Now the AMS comes out from the Death Knight, but he has 40% life. Paladin now pops his wings, trying to go for that Cyclone, but I do get stopped. camping bear form now, guys. This is their time to shine, right? We do pop Incarn. We do have Incarn up for like 10 more seconds, but we've already used our stun. We've already used our CC. If we can get some more CC, then great. But until then, I'm going to be sitting bear form, just surviving. Now I get that full Cyclone out onto the Paladin. Fist of Fury stun onto the DPS. Throwing out a ton of damage onto the monkey, is forced to pop wall. The Pally does get Hammer of Justice off of that full Cyclone. We want to hit the monk, but he is running quite a bit. So we can continue damage now onto the Death Knight and even onto the Pally, but we probably are going to kill one of the DPS here in this match. Now the Cyclone on the Death Knight here is great. Cyclone on one of the DPS kind of keeps them off of me. I can sometimes get the Cyclones, but a lot of the times they're going to get stopped. And if I continue trying to get the Cyclones, then I'm going to, just get kicked and then die anyway. A lot of the times I'm going to be peeled by Beanslayer X with the double leg sweeps or the double Fist of Fury. On there goes as well. So we got that Paralyze onto the Pally, casting the Cyclone to get kicked. Make sure I want to shift back into Moonkin form, doing a good job of that. Have Root Beam available for this next go, though, and I'm probably communicating that, like, I have Root Beam. Now, they grip my Paladin in. This can be very scary, but my Pally does run out before they manage to land the stun. Now, the full Hammer of Justice onto the Pally. The Pally does Trinket and Freedom and Sack, actually, right? So a ton of defensive cooldowns from them. Now I'm going to go bear form and pop my skin here. Hopefully, my Pally isn't going to need to use anything else. Now, our entire team's dipping actually pretty low right here, but like I said, guys, we are going to have this huge, powerful Ghost to come back. Even though we might not have the consistent pressure, we have the burst to really take these wins in these matches, right? I still have that Root Beam available for this next go. On our side, the Paladin shouldn't have too many defensive cooldowns, so we should just, in another go or two, should be able to win this game. I also have Root Beam and Incarn in about 10 seconds, so we're going to do a go with the Root Beam. Don't have Incarn, but I almost managed to get that full Moon off. Get gripped at the last 0.1 seconds there. Now the full Hammer of Justice coming out onto the Paladin. Going for the Cyclone. Do manage to get the Cyclone, even though the Death Knight had the kick. Very interesting that he didn't actually throw out the Mind Freeze there. Maybe he thought I was going to juke. Do have the Incarn available in Monks. Now 22% does pop that Karma. I clone the Karma, keep him nice and low. So this is another thing that I haven't really mentioned so far in the video, guys, that you can Cyclone targets when they use defensive cooldowns so they can't get topped back up from their healer. If they use Karma, if they use Wall, if they use IBF, any type of defensive cooldown, if you Cyclone them nice and low, then it kind of keeps them primed for when they come out of that Cyclone, and then you can continue the damage afterwards. Going to go for a Recyclone onto that Karma. Do get paralyzed, though, unfortunately. Lapke's in some trouble, but that Fist of Fury coming out, the Monk getting solo, ports behind the pillar, 5% life. The AMS comes out from the Death Knight. If we can get any follow-up CC, we can win this game. Doesn't look like it yet. The Monk does get topped off. However, I do have Incarn, right? So once I can get a really nice go with this Incarn, the Monk has no Trinket. The Monk has no Karma. We really should be able to take this guy down. Full Cyclone out on the Pally. However, the Death Knight stole the Cyclone with Dark Sim, and he Cycloned me there on that go. Now the Paralyze comes out with the half Cyclone onto the Pally, popping that Incarn, getting out some solar routes here. Do get Hammer of Justice, so the quick Dispel comes out from Lapke. Do get kicked here on my damage attempt. And one just criticism of my own gameplay is I have been sitting at 3 moons for a while. If I could get more moons out, get some more full moons out, I'm definitely going to be able to do a lot more effective damage. Even if I get kicked, then that means I can Cyclone. So casting a little bit more and getting out those moons, definitely something that I need to work on in my own Boomkin gameplay. Once again, guys, this is only my second or third queue session on a Boomkin ever this expansion. Doesn't really make too much sense, but this expansion, I guess. So keep that in mind as well. I am definitely still learning, just walking you through, what I have learned so far. But we do get that Paralyze into the Cyclone, double Fist of Fury, guys. This is what it's all about as Moonkin Windwalker. Okay, Paralyze into the Cyclone, double stun, locking down the entire enemy team, and this is really how you're going to force a lot of cooldowns, or if they're out of cooldowns like they are right now, manage to force those kills. So nice game here on the Grand Arena, taking out the Windwalker. And some people in the comments are probably wondering why we actually chose to go the Windwalker instead of the Death Knight. We did fight this team a couple times. We went Death Knight a couple times, and he was just so tanky. We couldn't really take him out as well. But once we started going Windwalker, and then once the Windwalker started running, then hit the Death Knight, it allowed us to stay much more offensive. So that's the reason why. We're hitting Windwalker, forcing him to play defensive, forcing him to run. As soon as he's running, okay, now we'll hit the DK, right? But if we never hit the Windwalker and the Windwalker's in and he's kind of just there the whole time, he's doing a lot of offensive pressure, setting up a lot of kills, and then we are on the back foot. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video and took something, learned something from this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you guys did not like the video, make sure to thumbs it down so I know not to upload more videos like this. And talk to me in the comments about what you guys want to see for next time. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.